everyone and welcome to my channel. My name's Rhiannon and today I'm going to be sharing with you my brand new TBR game, Rhiannon's Bookish Bingo. So I actually came up with this idea a while back. I think it was at around Christmas time, and I bought all the stuff that I needed, but at that time I was living in a student flat and it was very small and I didn't really have a good place to film. So I decided to wait until I moved into my new house. However, because of the situation in the world with COVID, I had to move house quite quickly and I was very unprepared, and so it took me a while to get used to being here and trying to find out how I could set things up. I have finally managed it after, 7 months of wanting to do this TBR game, and I'm here to present it to you today. Like I said, I was planning on starting this TBR game around Christmas time, and at that time nobody that I knew of had posted a bingo TBR game. However, I have recently seen Shanice from Noella Reads do a bingo TBR game and I really enjoyed hers. So even though I wasn't aware of anyone doing these games at the time that I planned to do it, now obviously a lot of time has passed and people have gotten onto the trend of TBR games, and I don't blame them because it's so fun. But I still wanted to do my own bookish bingo because I'm so bad at sticking to my TBRs every month, so if I have a set TBR that I have to complete, then I will. At the minute, I've just decided to go for 5 rolls, and that means that there's not too much pressure on me to read a whole lot of books, but I at least will read 5 books a month, which is really good. And I am also starting teachers training in September, so after that I feel like 5 books a month will be my average. At the minute, because of lockdown, I have been reading between 10 and 15 books a month, but I feel like that is going to go down quite quickly once I do start university again. So I've gone with 5, it's a good number and I'm very happy with it. So the way this works is that I basically spin this cage, a ball will come out here and the number on the ball corresponds to a list of prompts that I have, and so the number that I get will correspond to a specific prompt. I do have the full list of prompts, so I think I will just insert a clip here just so you know what they are. You can pause it, you can have a look. Of course, when I'm sharing with you the books that I've chosen for each number, I will explain the prompt and talk about it then. There are 75 prompts because we have 75 balls in this cage. I think I came up with about 50 and then I just had to repeat some of them a few times. So you will see some stuff does pop up twice, and that's mainly because I do have 75 of these balls. So I wanted to get a prompt for every single one so I can use it, and that also makes it more fun because there's so many different numbers in here. Who knows what I can be reading every month. It's completely random, so I don't have a clue what I will be getting or what I will be reading, so I feel like this is the most fun way for me to do it. Of course, I need to give credit where credit is due, and that is because I would never have come up with this idea if it wasn't for a certain group of booktubers who already have TBR games established, and those are Cody's Wheel of TBR, Becca's Bookopoly, and Jade's TBR Pursuit. I will leave the links to all those videos down below for you guys, as well as the creators. I absolutely adore their content. They're the ones that really got me into this idea of a TBR game where I basically won't have any control as to which books I'm reading for that month. I'm sure there are a load more people that have TBR games, but those are the 3 that I've been watching religiously since they've started posting those TBR games, and I just think it's such a fun little element every month. I hope I've explained it well up to now, but the gist of it is I spin this cage, the number pops out, the number corresponds to a prompt, and I need to choose a book relating to that prompt. Of course, this is bingo, so there is an extra element to it, and that is the bingo board. So this is the first one that I'll be using until we fill it up, and as you can see it does have a load of different numbers and a free space here. This came with the cage, and I think I will make my own board later on down the line, but as of now I just want to use what I've got, and this is very handy. Again, this is completely random. It has a load of different numbers on it, so when a ball comes out the cage, if the number matches this one, I will cross one out, and I've decided that if I get a line which is this way or that way, then I will be able to change up my TBR a bit and I can completely get rid of one prompt and I don't have to roll again, so I can replace that with a book that I really want to read that month, but only, like I said, if I've got a line. It's probably not going to happen often, but just as a little reward for me, if I get a line I get to choose if I want to keep the prompts that I have, or I can swap one of them out for a different one. And then the exciting part, when we do eventually get a bingo, and hopefully we do, I will will be hosting a giveaway. I'm not sure how I want to do it yet, but I think we'll have a few months until this does fill up. I feel like that's just a way for me to give back as well, because if you guys support and you comment and you really enjoy this game, then once we hit a bingo, I can give something back to you. I feel like I have rambled on for a long time, so I'm sorry about that. Hopefully everything makes sense. If you do have any more questions, please leave them down in the comments below and I will get to them as soon as I can. Other than that, I really hope you enjoy this TBR game, and let's just get into the first spin. Number 28, and 28 is not on the bingo board. So the first number that we got was number 28, and that is actually to listen to an audiobook. This is perfect because I am planning on reading Assassin's Quest this month by Robin Hobb. I am currently participating in the Elder Ling-Along readathon hosted by Becca from Becca and the Books. This is the last book in the Farsi trilogy, and as you can see, it's very chunky. What I've been doing to get through these books is listening to the audiobook whilst reading it physically, and I feel like this prompt fits that perfectly. I will be listening to the audiobook for this, but I will also be reading it physically. So I'm really happy that my first roll was to get this beast of a book on there, because now I don't have to worry about reading another book and fitting this one in between. If you don't know anything about this series, we follow a young boy named Fitz, and one day when he's around 6 years old, I think, he gets dropped off at the King's Keep, where he tells the guards that Fitz is actually the bastard-born son of Prince Chivalry. Fitz's grandfather can't afford to keep him any longer, and so he basically leaves Fitz to his fate on the steps of the keep, and Fitz is ultimately taken in by one of Prince Chivalry's subjects who looks after the hounds. However, after a period of time working with the master of the hounds, the king takes notice of Fitz. Remember I said that Fitz was a bastard, which means he is an illegitimate heir, which means he will never be able to take the throne as long as this line survives, but he can be useful in other ways. And so King Shrewd appoints Fitz as the king's assassin because he can sneak about the keep and learn some secrets that people would not share with royalty. It's a very complex story. There's a lot of politics and we do focus a lot on the characters themselves. I didn't think I'd like this series as much as I did, but I have loved every single book so far, and I'm hoping to love this even more, if anything, because this is the conclusion to this trilogy. I can't wait to get to this, and I'm also really glad that it is the first book on my set TBR this month. 48, and 48 is not on the board either. Next up was number 48, and that prompt is actually to read a book to movie adaptation, and that is basically to read any book that has a film or a TV show based on the original novel. For that one, I have gone for The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. This is the first book, I think, in the Witcher series. I don't actually know, there's a whole ton of books in there. I think this is a prequel novella type of book. Yeah, it says here, The Last Wish is the perfect introduction to Sapkowski's epic Witcher world, where one man holds the line against the demons that plague humanity. This is one that I've been wanting to read for so long. I was planning on reading this before watching the TV show, but don't know, the reading rush is happening, which is a week-long readathon at the end of July, and one of the prompts in that is to watch the adaptation of a book before actually reading it. So this month I'm planning on watching the Witcher series on Netflix and then reading the book in the last week of July. So again, this prompt was actually a blessing and it's worked out really well. I honestly can't tell you anything about this book. I don't know anything about it. All I know is that The Witcher is a very popular game that I haven't actually played, but I do want to get it for my Switch. And all it says on the back is, Geralt of Rivia is a Witcher. He uses his legendary power and lifelong training to protect the innocent by hunting the vile fiends that ravage the land. But not all monsters are evil, and not everything fair is good. That's all it says, and I'm not going to read any more because I feel like it'll be better for me if I just go into it not knowing anything. I won't have expectations that way, and I just won't know what to expect. Like I said, this is going to be one of my last reads for the month, and hopefully I love it. Ooh. You can't see that one too well, but it is 69, and 69 is not on the bingo board. The next number that I got was 69, and that is to read a book that doesn't have a lot of hype. Now, I am kind of cheating a little bit with this one because I have chosen Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World by Ashley Herring Blake. I haven't heard anything about this, to be honest, so it's not technically cheating. I went for this one, however, because I am participating in Detectathon this month, hosted by Molly from Mind of Molly, and this book is actually the group book, so other than that, I would not know that this book existed, to be honest with you, and so I feel like it fits the prompt very well. Again, I don't really know much about this, but I believe it's an LGBTQIA+ middle grade, which is really intriguing to me because you don't see that many around. But the basic premise of this story, from what I can remember, is that a tornado sweeps through the town and Ivy's house is hit, and so she loses everything, including a notebook that's filled with pictures of girls holding hands. Mysteriously, Ivy's drawings do come back to her over a period of time, but they get put into her locker, along with some notes from an unidentified person telling her that she needs to open up about her identity. Ivy thinks and hopes that these notes are from a girl in a class that she has a crush on, but will Ivy find the strength to follow her true feelings and find that out for herself? So I feel like this is going to be a really impactful read and hopefully handles difficult topics in a good way, and so I really hope that this is a good story. That is not very clear, but it is 45. And again, 45 is not on the bingo board. Next up, we had number 45, and that is to read a standalone. This again is perfect because I did mention Becca's Bookopoly at the start of this video, and Becca is actually hosting a 48-hour readathon all around her Bookopoly board, which is called Becca's BookoplAthon. I will leave the Twitter down below for that, just because I think it's absolutely brilliant. You can't really plan your TBR, but Becca has released the first prompt in that readathon, and you could either choose a chance card like she has on her board, where you just pick one card out of a bunch and that'll have a name of a book on it, and that's the one you have to read, or you could read a book that has paranormal or magical realism elements in it. And my aim for this year is to try and tackle my own TBR, and so I am going to be choosing a book that I've been putting off for way too long, and that is Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore. I have owned this for years and I've been so intrigued by the story because I do actually really enjoy reading magical realism books, and this one just sounded amazing to me. It's also one of Kayla from Books and Lala's favourite books, so I don't know why I haven't read it yet. Because I bought it so long ago, I don't really remember the plot, but I believe it's about a group of women that tend to this garden, and if they fall in love too deeply, their lovers vanish, which sounds so strange to me, but I'm very, very intrigued. However, one day a random boy appears in this garden, and the grandmother of the group of women does take him in and treats him as her own son. So I'm guessing a lot of mystery is revealed as to who this boy is, because he does not remember anything about himself or his past, and I'm guessing one of the women will start falling in love with him and they will have to tackle this curse that's on the family. And it says here that it is a stunning exploration of love, loss and family. I can't wait to read this. I don't know why I've been putting it off for so long. It's also quite short. It's only 339 pages, so I reckon I could fly through it, which is good because I have chosen this, like I said, as my first book in a 48-hour readathon, and I believe the aim of the readathon is to read 4 books, but hopefully I'll fly through this one and really enjoy it. And number 64. And of course 64 is not on the board, so we don't get to cross off any this time round. And then the last number was 64, which is actually another audiobook. What are the chances that on the first round of Rhiannon's Bookish Bingo we get the same prompt twice? I might have to come up with a punishment for that actually. I didn't think about that when doing the rolls, but I feel like as of next month's Bookish Bingo, if I get the same prompt twice, then I have to spin the cage another time and get an extra prompt for the month. I feel like that's only fair, and it also also makes it a little bit more interesting. But for this last prompt, I've chosen to listen to The Explorer. I don't know who it's by and I can't check because I do film on my phone and I do also listen to audiobooks through my phone, so I'm so sorry, but I will pop it up on screen now. This is actually the middle grade monthly pick for July, and that is a middle grade book club hosted by Jade from JD Reads and Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin. So again, all the links will be down below for you guys. I honestly don't know anything about this book. All I know is that it is about a group of kids who are in a plane crash and I think they end up in the middle of a rainforest somewhere. Don't know if that's accurate, I'm really sorry. But I wasn't sure if I was going to participate in the read along for this month because I don't own the book. But luckily, audiobook came up as a prompt. I have checked and it is on Scribd, so I will be reading this month and I am very excited to do so. And that is it for the first round of Rhiannon's Bookish Bingo. I will be reading these books as well as listening to the audiobook for The Explorer, which I'm so excited about. I feel like I had quite a good month this month. I don't know if that's just because it's my first month and the bingo cage was trying to be a bit nicer. Hopefully the streak carries on. All of these books serve a purpose. They're all for certain read-alongs and I'm very excited to get to all of these. Please let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this game. Like I said, I have been trying to figure out how to film it so that you guys can see everything that's going on. It has been quite difficult, but hopefully it looks okay. Again, if you do have any suggestions for me to make this better, please leave them down below in the comments. I am so happy to have finally started this little TBR game, and at least now I will be reading a set list of 5 books every month, and honestly, I can't wait. If you liked this video, don't forget to click the like button as well as the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. It truly does mean the world to me, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!